well for your privacy policy, your legal notices, things like that. Just not important to you, okay? So this is about PageRank funneling or link juice sculpting. I don't use PageRank a lot in big public presentations because Google technically has a trademark on it. So link juice funneling allows you to plug the holes to the pages that you don't care about ranking well on. Classic example, go back to one call from a few years ago. We ranked for FedEx, okay? Ranked well for FedEx. Boss thought it was great. Like, oh, it's phenomenal, we rank well for FedEx. No, we're selling electronics, right? We don't care if we rank well for FedEx. Why are we ranking well for FedEx? Well, because we had the text, 2-day FedEx shipping, 3-day FedEx shipping, and on every single one of our pages we had a link to tell you more about 3-day FedEx shipping or 2-day or overnight FedEx shipping. We had so many links going to this great page that we happened to build perfectly for SEO for FedEx, okay? All linking into one spot. And we're showing up on like, I think, the second page of Google, okay? That's not helping us at all. So what could we have done had today existed back then? We could have plugged that with a, what they call a rel equals no follow link. Okay, that's REL quotes or double quotes, depending on what format you're in. No follow, one word, quote, or double quote to close it. Where do you put it? You put it inside your A tag, okay? So more or less where your links are at. And that tells Google, Yahoo, MSN, and Ask that you don't want any of your link juice or PageRank from the page you're currently on being passed through this location. This is kind of controversial depending on who you talk to within the search engine field, okay? Because how did it originally start? Because of people like me in 2001, 2002, 2003, going into newsgroups and forums like on DP Review and dropping links like crazy to destination pages in blogs, or not blogs, forums, right? That was passing too much PageRank to pages that people weren't actually voting for, right? Because the whole link structure is all about a voting mechanism, right? Google's trying to figure out which pages are really the best. So Google said, okay, you now need to put no follow on any ads that aren't in JavaScript, or we're gonna give you a penalty. And you're gonna get knocked down in search results a little bit. Also, you need to do it for all of your comments and blogs, okay? Don't freak out. Most of your blogs are probably okay, but you're probably using WordPress, Movable Type, Typepad, blah, 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 okay? All of those companies automatically build that in, okay? But it started off in that fashion. Now, Matt Cutts, who is the head of web spam at Google, right? Like last year had an awesome interview with Eric Inge, okay, who does a lot of interviews with other people with search engines. And Matt Cutts said, you know what? You can actually use this to funnel your PageRank to places you don't want that PageRank going to. So now on all of our sites, I make sure that privacy policies, an example of like the FedEx page, etc., we are blocking, okay? I also block most external links unless the journalist wants to link to it for story reasons, okay? Why? Because we work our butts off to do well in search engine optimization. Why pass all this out somewhere else, okay? That's very controversial. Wikipedia does this. You ever notice every single query you make on Google is to Wikipedia? Why? Because Wikipedia's done a great job with their link structure. They've also done a great job of breaking out one page for a particular piece of content or key phrase. And they aren't passing PageRank to pages that don't matter to them, okay? They have blocked all external links from outside of Wikipedia from passing any PageRank. You will not find an SEO in the industry, period, that will link to Wikipedia for that sole reason. It's a black hole. They call it PageRank black hole, okay? I am frankly of the mindset that you need to do this pretty much as well. 90%, 95%. Be careful who you're passing PageRank to. Most sites don't even know you're doing it. How can you tell if it's happening? Use Firefox and do a search for the phrase SEO for Firefox. There's a plugin called SEO for Firefox that will make all links that are not passing PageRank highlighted in red. Okay? That way, when you look at a page, you'll see, okay, links, 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 links. Wow, they're all in red. Okay? That means they're not passing PageRank out. The other thing you could do is, actually I'm not going to get into it. There's like a million other plugins you can do, but SEO for Firefox is the easiest. Okay? Other thing you want to block are forms. Like anything that's just a human thing, block those too. Is it a spider or a robot? Cannot fill out a form. They can't do that. Well, they do it on some sites. I don't want to get too, out on the outer edge, but yeah, they can't fill out a form. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Next thing. Never delete content. That's what I was talking about earlier, right? You do not want to delete content that you've spent time in building unless it's truly, truly, truly obsolete, okay? If you delete content, make sure you do a 301 redirect and you redirect that old URL to a new URL that's very similar in content. Why? Because you want to pass the popularity forward, you want to pass the authority forward, and you want to pass the relevancy forward. Some sites do an okay job. They will buy a new domain and they'll take all their links from their last domain and they'll link them all to their new homepage. Well, you kept your popularity, you may have kept your authority, but you just lost all of your relevancy. Because you were linking from a cooking page to a cooking page, now you're linking from a cooking page to a car racing page. Think about that when you do that as well. And I think I covered most of that earlier. All right, Google News. Yes, I'm in the news industry, but you know what? Google News is not just for news, like not just for media sites. A great opportunity for every single one of you is to launch a blog or anything that you can write about whatever you're doing, okay? Electronics is a great example, okay? In the buying cycle, whatever you're selling online, okay, there is a buying cycle of people that want to purchase right now or people that want to research and purchase 6 months from now, okay? If you catch them earlier in the buying cycle, that's your opportunity to have news-like content. Okay? You can create a blog, you can create a website, whatever it may be, and you can write content about digital cameras. DP Review, great example. Okay? Amazon's done this, right? They launched So You Like To's and Listmanias and all this other stuff. They have, a million other community features that I haven't kept up with in the last 2 years. You want to do the same type of thing and then submit it to Google News. Okay? Make sure you have some decent content on there first. Don't just have one blog post. I would wait 3 months. Post something every day, 3 times a week, maybe, okay? Make it quality content and then submit it to Google News. Because these guys aren't just about, it's got to be media. No. It can be anything that's newsworthy, okay? And then the goal here is the Google News one box, okay? Because the rest of your competitors haven't thought about this. Most of them haven't, okay? And it is a lot easier to rank #1 in Google News than it is to rank #1 in Google Web. Why? Thousands of sites versus millions. Actually, it's 1 trillion now, okay, of sites, or pages, I'm sorry, 1 trillion pages on the internet, okay? Google News is still very manual. So you can get into Google News, right? It's going to take a little work sometimes, outlying situations, right? But get in there. Then you can rank #1 in Google News. Now, the cool thing is that Google News is only around 6-7% of the traffic you get from Google Web. But Google Web pulls in Google News results for those same phrases. This is an example of such, okay? This was at the top of the page for Michelle Obama dress, okay?